Okay, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, everyone. I hope everyone is doing good, inshallah. And jazakumullah khair for joining to this live stream, our 11th show, inshallah. So we'll just be waiting for 30 seconds for people to kind of join in. And if I may request the panelists to please keep their mics on mute if they are not speaking, because it will be easier then to, inshallah, not have any kind of background noise. So please, guys, share the feeds. I'm requesting the panelists also to share the feeds. I've already sent the live links to everyone as well. So if everyone can please start sharing the feeds. This is our second show of the series, inshallah, which is not going to be the last. We are also going to be continuing with the series with a couple of more shows, inshallah, which are going to be happening next Sunday and then the week after. So we'll be starting in 10 seconds, inshallah. So if you guys can please share the feeds, it will be great, inshallah. And we have also pasted the profiles of the panelists. You can see at the bottom, inshallah. Okay, so in alhamdulillah nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruh wa na'udhu billahi min shururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina may yahdihillahu fala mudilla lahu wa may yudlil fala hadiya lahu wa ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu wa ashhadu anna muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, everyone. So jazakumullah khair, everyone, for joining in today. Today is our second show of the series of entrepreneurship amongst the Muslims. So just a quick introduction to our panelists for today. So we have Sister Ambreen Shahid Qureshi, mashallah, who has joined us from Karachi, from Pakistan. She is a Master's of Business Administration and MBA from the Institute of Business Administration in Karachi. And mashallah, she has done her Bachelor's in Computer Science as well from, I think, Syed University as well. On top of that, mashallah, she has been into kind of the work sphere during the last kind of 10 years. And mashallah, I think recently in the last 3-4 years, she's been concentrating mainly on women entrepreneurship, the micro side of women entrepreneurship, inshallah. And mashallah, she has been running kind of the courses from IBA itself, from an academic background, and inshallah, we'll be speaking more. Then we also have Sister Sohret. So Sister Sohret is, mashallah, joining us from Australia. She is a proud mother of 4 kids, mashallah. And jazakumullah khair, sister, for joining again early in the morning for you. So if you feel, guys, give her a break if you feel that she's still sleepy, okay? Then, mashallah, Sister Sohret, mashallah, she has loads of experience working in governmental organizations as well as I think the NGOs, not really NGOs, but kind of the the non-governmental sector, where she has been helping kind of the women and the oppressed, mashallah, from the victims of domestic violence, etc. And in the last kind of 4 or 5 years, mashallah, she has been running her own coaching academy. And also, she is the co-founder of the Muslim Sisters in Australia, which actually runs out of Sydney. And, as I was discussing with her this morning, in fact, mashallah, that particular organization also has sisters from other parts of Australia. Then our final panelist is Sister Aaila. Sister, please forgive me. I can't pronounce your Mexican name. It's just not possible for me. So we'll just be calling you Sister Aaila. Okay. So jazakumullah khair for joining. And mashallah, sister is a graduate in architecture, and she is also a board certified from Canada as well. And she's been practicing architecture for quite a while. And mashallah, sister, does quite a lot of things. Mashallah, look at her profile. She runs Aki West Coast, the radio show. Also, she has her own kind of graphic design company. Mashallah, she is also the founder of the Canadian Women's Association. And mashallah, sister was awarded the Entrepreneur Award for the Muslim Sisters in 2017. So look at her profile, look at all the profiles of the panelists, inshallah, to get to know them more, inshallah. So this is our panel for today. The show is going to be co-hosted by Sister Sumaiya, again from Australia. Early morning for her. So Jazakallah khair, sister, for joining in. Yeah, so we'll be doing the show together today. I hope we have a good kind of back and forth, inshallah, because of the kind of the distance and the issues around. And normally when we do such shows, inshallah. So inshallah khair. Okay, so let's make a start. So Sister Ambreen, the first question coming to you. How would you define Islamic women entrepreneurship? You have to unmute yourself, sister. Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Brother Nokes? Okay. Thank you very much, Brother Nokes. Okay, first of all, before going to the Islamic women entrepreneurship, I would like to just introduce a little brief about actually what is entrepreneurship. So, in general, we look entrepreneurship as something belongs with masculine strength in terms of effort and with growth in terms of return on profits, right? So, moving towards the Islamic or the faith-based entrepreneurship. So I would like to discuss this concept in the light of some research by Professor Miles Davis. He's a president of Lynn Page University, USA, and he also visited couples of times to IYC-INT in different symposiums. And by the grace of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, he accepted Islam. So, according to his research paper on the Islamic-based or faith-based entrepreneurship, he said religion defined behaviors, and he said that the Hindu entrepreneurship and the Jewish entrepreneurship and the Christian entrepreneurship is different as compared to the Islamic entrepreneurship. And how? So here's how we define that Islamic entrepreneurship is different. Entrepreneurship or entrepreneur as a steward or a stewardship, like you have a certain responsibility and you have to fulfill those responsibility. You must be accountable and you are answerable for those responsibilities that Allah has put on towards you. And for examples, we have Prophet life as an example, and the source of wisdom for entrepreneur is the Quran and the Hadith. And the motivation for the entrepreneurship is submission to Allah Subhanahu wa Taala will. And the primary quality of entrepreneur is concern for community, concern for humanity. So this is the different kind of entrepreneurship, Islamic entrepreneurship, as compared to the other entrepreneurship that we normally know about it. So, in other words, Islamic and faith-based entrepreneurship, we have trust as a amana, we have purpose and we have certain maqsad, we have method as a tariqa, and we have method or affairs as a mamlat. So, we can say that Islam may be considered as entrepreneurial religion in the sense that enables and encourages entrepreneurial activity. For the reference, I would like to quote a hadith. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was asked what type of earning was best, and he replied, a man work with his hand and every lawful business transaction. This is the hadith from Al-Tirmidhi. So our religion supported the entrepreneurship. Now, moving towards the women entrepreneurship, we have introduced the concept of women as nation builder, right? So, in our model, Hazrat Hajra, Hazrat Asiya, Maryam, Khatija, Raziallah Anha are our role models who raised Ismail, Musa, Isa, and Khadija Raziallah Ta'ala Anha helped her husband, our beloved Prophet Sallallahu by every possible way and sacrificed her wealth, her comfort in the path of Islam. So, based on these noble personalities, noble women of our own, we developed a model. Brother Nokes, if you can show that model, we have some PPT I would like to share with you. So we have designed a very organic, indigenous framework on the women entrepreneurship, or you can say that the Islamic entrepreneurship model. This indigenous model, fortunately, luckily won USASB award in 2017. USASB is a United States Small Business Enterprise Association, and we won that award for this model that this brother of his is playing, I think. Yes, this is a model and it has four pillars as you can see on the screen. The first pillar we can say that the pre-effectuation. Pre-effectuation means know your own strength, know your own competency, know your hidden potential or whatever you have Allah has keep you inside, right? So we need to unleash our internal strength, internal potential, internal fear, internal passion. We all are unique. We cannot be replicated by any means. So every woman is unique in her own way. So this is the concept of pre-effectuation, that know your inner strength. Followed by the effectuation theory proposed by the Dr. Sara Saraswati. He's a professor in Darden University in the USA, and he proposed effectuation theory that is once again a very organic theory, can be applicable for the businesses, for the startup, for the personal life, for the individual, for the companies, for the corporate, and for the social entrepreneurship as well. This is kind of very flexible, very applicable principle, and it says if whatever you want to do, just look around your bird in hand. The first principle of effectuation theory is bird in hand, right? And bird in hand says that you need to figure out who you are, what you know, whom you know. Who you are means your own personality traits, your own personality characteristic, your own personality properties. We can collect all these things in the who you are, and what you know represent your skill set, your core competency, your excellence, your certification, your degrees, all the skill set came under the window of whom what you know. And the
Okay.
third is
Sister, if I may interject, if we kind of do kind of, because otherwise it will, maybe this explanation of this model is going to take a bit of time. So if I may request you that inshallah, as we move along, take this model and let's keep on coming back to this model once we understand the principle, which I think you have, mashallah, very succinctly explained. Let's touch base with the other panelists as well, inshallah, and then we'll be coming
okay.
back to the training and the principles of effectuation exactly, and then what is the family-centered women entrepreneurship model. If I may
Okay,
request you to please do that, okay, inshallah, and I'll reshare the screen, inshallah, once again.
okay,
So,
thank you.
Sister Sumaiya, over to you, inshallah.
Right. So my next question would be, from Sister Sohret. For women, it's most difficult to balance the responsibility between work and domestic life, especially moms, especially mothers. So they are expected to cater to the needs of their children. And then, every day now, it's very difficult. So it can be discouraging to pursue entrepreneurship, and a certain timetable can't be followed. So what do you say about that?
Bismillah. I suppose as mums that yes, it can be discouraging because we do have the responsibilities of children and making sure that our own family is running effectively and efficiently. And yes, I mean, at times you feel this sense of being pulled in different directions. Um, the thing about Muslim women in working from home and their own businesses is that we have a lot of flexibility in terms of our own in our own work. So we set our own work hours, obviously in balance with what our the needs of our family. So I suppose the thing is that it is it is a lot of responsibility because obviously you're taking on a business that is yours, or that that you are managing other people, and it can be discouraging. I mean, subhanallah, all of last week it seemed to be that I was having conversations with other sisters about their the family needs versus their own needs in terms of wanting to have a business, and I mean, I don't know if there's an easy answer, and I don't think that it comes with an ideal way of being balanced. Like it's not like a set of scales. It won't be it will be actually heavily balanced one way or another way, depending on what's going on in your family, because obviously family is very important to us, and we don't want to be neglectful of those responsibilities as well. So I wouldn't want to discourage any sister from starting a business, because in any business there's always going to be challenges, there's always going to be tests, just like in life in general. So I think that it even gives you, if you're clear on why it is that you want to have your own business, it makes the decisions and the way that you organize yourself a lot easier, because you have that kind of inner determination to keep going and moving along the why of which you are starting your business or growing your business, if that makes sense. I mean, and most sisters, when they start I know in Australia, 1 in 3, is it 1 in 3? 1 in 3 businesses are owned by women. And women often make the decision to go into business when they are in their maternity leave. So they've been working in their professional job, and then they take some maternity leave, and they know that they want to spend that time with their child or children, but they also want to have a business to do something for themselves, to contribute to society, or whatever it is their why is. So the benefits of entrepreneurship for Muslim women and for any woman is that we have the flexibility of working around our own families. I mean, often women will work early in the morning or late at night, or when their kids are napping if they've got little kids, or when their kids are at school. And we're not unique in that. Lots of women do the same thing. So I would say, to understand that it's going to come with challenges. It's not going to be an easy journey, and that it's possible for all of us. If it's possible for, and the thing is that we have the example of Khadija radiallahu an, who had a family, who and who still ran her business and had multiple children that she was looking after, plus her own children. And she was, a support for her husband as well. Allahumma barik. So, Yani, we have an excellent example in the mother of the believers. And there's no reason why we can't start a business and have a family and, have both of them as our focus ever.
Yeah.
The journey's not easy.
The journey is not
but
easy,
anything
but
in
you
this
need to
life
keep
is
balance.
worth, Yes, subhanAllah.
Keeping a balance is important. Yeah, alhamdulillah.
Definitely. And knowing your values, and knowing that family is an important value for you, but also, the reason why you started a business, because, we don't exist by ourselves. Yani, so even if we only serve sisters, for example, if I've got a business and I only serve sisters in Sydney, but the ripple effects of my business can be felt in other parts of the world as well, whether it's that I contribute financially to other places, other charitable projects. I have a global service that any woman, any Muslim sister can access from any parts of the world. So our businesses are not just us. The ripple effects of our business is great. And also, sorry, I was going to say one thing is that, if we've got daughters, it's an awesome example for them as well, to know that we can, make our terms of our business and pursue what is important to us, as well as having a family, alhamdulillah.
Oh, alhamdulillah.
Sister Aaila, now coming to you, inshallah. As Sister Sohret actually has explained, kind of her experience and how exactly, in her experience, mashallah, things are being managed. So what, in your experience, is the Canadian experience? What's happening amongst the Muslim sisters there?
Yes, as the sister mentioned it before, you can have your family, but it doesn't mean that you are not capable to start your own business. One of the things is you have to have a clear idea when you want to start the business as well. Obviously, it comes with a big responsibilities, but you can manage both. Family must come first, or anything else matter. When you are a parent, you are forced to get up early and get ready for the day with your family. You need to be up early to respond emails, contact clients, and solve any issue, or develop your marketing and social media for your business.
Yeah.
When your business is growing, we have to find time to work. It can be when everyone else is sleeping, or we have to understand that maybe we need extra help. For that reason, we should consider hiring a virtual assistant or somebody else who can help us in the business.
Okay. And yeah, that's fine. But now coming back to, let's say, another kind of question. Mashallah, you've been involved in a lot of kind of activities, Sister Aaila, in Canada. Now, have you ever had a chance to raise capital, or did you do any kind of business where you had to raise capital or funding from any sources?
Yes, most of new business need money. This is why it's important to identify a source that aligns what is need for the business. You can build up to 6 months worth of saving for expenses before you start your business. You can apply for any small business loan when you need extra cash, or look to small business grants in your local community or local funding opportunities. Hard work is an absolute necessity, but when you are starting a business with little or no capital at all, then you must be prepared to dedicate everything you have into making the business a success. That might mean handling your customer support, dealing with billing, accounting, every other working part of your business. You have to work very hard to handle the different aspects. So it's something you have to consider, and when you start, before you start your business, you have to go into your local community or your local government and to find out where you can get that support.
Okay. So mashallah, so that experience is there. And obviously this is the reason I'm asking these types of questions is for the audience, is that you are able to then, inshallah, the sisters which are listening, they need to have a well-rounded view of things as far as the business of running the show is concerned. So over to you, Sister Sumaiya, and maybe we can request Sister Ambreen, inshallah, to cover Sister Ambreen, if I may request you not to cover the academic side of the effectuation theory, because that Dr. Shahid, mashallah, explained it to us last week. If you can kind of come to the last part, which is kind of the practical aspects of that theory, inshallah, that would be great, inshallah.
Yeah, Jazakallah. So, Sister Ambreen, would you like to explain to us about the favorable type of opportunities for Muslim women entrepreneurs?
Okay. About the favorable type of opportunities for Muslim women, I would like to say that first of all, need to work around, look towards opportunities already found near you, around you, right? And you need to work on your skill set, number one, and you need to work on core competency. Then find, is there any gap? Is there any pain? Is there any want exist in our society, in our community, in our country, that we need to work on these things? And in this way we can find some new opportunity so that we can leverage that opportunity and convert and fill this gap into as a new startup. So we need to have an eye to look towards an opportunity and match this opportunity with the pains of the societies, that we need to fulfill this gap and the pain and address this pain.
Yeah. Okay, wow, that's Jazakallah khair. So, can you give us a little example for the audience to make it a bit easier to understand, like filling the gap between these two things? Yeah.
Okay, I would like to share one example from our alumni, Yasmin Gaya Saiba. She lived in Karachi. Her brother had a difficulty has some disease related to kidney issues, and the brother he needs sodium-free water because there is a family history of some kidney diseases in her family of Ms. Yasmin Gaya Saiba. So she worked on the opportunity. She worked on how to purify the water, how to eliminate the sodium from water, and she worked on it on her own. And she studied from her daughter textbook or from class 9. She learned how to make sodium-free water. She set up some plant in her own kitchen. And after several experimentation, she succeeded in producing a sodium-free water. Later, she converted that sodium-free water into the mineral water. And now she is the owner of one mineral water company by name of B. Harry's Mineral Water. And now she, along with her husband, running RO reverse osmosis plant company here in Karachi. So this is a little example of how to identify the pain, how to identify the bond, how to mix with
Uh-huh.
your skill set, your passion, and produce something very unique
Fantastic.
that
Yeah.
society really needs actually.
Mm. All right. Well, Jazakallah khair. That's a wonderful idea for I guess for everyone to follow.
Yes.
Yeah. My next question would go to Sister Aaila. Entrepreneurship or raising a family, what comes first? Can both be managed at the same time?
Yes, I will say that families first. Then obviously you have to manage with the business. This is why you have to plan ahead. You have to think ahead. And you have to prepare the family as well, because being entrepreneur is working hard. And you need to dedicate enough time to make your business grow. One other thing is very important is to emphasize that we need to create a time for the family and for the business. But definitely in the way you can manage is at the same time understand that we need extra help and we may have to hire somebody else. But when we start a business, there is a need as well to manage or do the work by yourself. So in this case, you can manage calls, talking with the clients, or manage any advertisement or marketing that the business is in need. So I will say yes, everybody can manage both at the same time. The only thing you need to organize time and family.
Yeah, so you need to be more structured. Yeah.
Yeah, you need to have a
Yeah.
structure. You have to plan
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah, Jazakallah khair for that. Yeah.
Sorry,
Okay.
Sister Sohret, would you like to add anything to this point? Because you touched on this point earlier.
Yeah.
So if
That's
you'd
right.
like to expand, please.
Yes, I mean, what the sister was saying was spot on, subhanAllah. As your business grows, I think, you need to think about what can you outsource? What is it that you don't mind giving to someone else to do so that you can continue to have your priority on your family, but also, be managing the growth of your business. So whether it's, extra house help or extra help in actual your business, whether you get a VA, a virtual assistant, or someone to do your graphics or whatever it might be, whatever type of business you have. Definitely, there are always solutions to how you can continue to manage both, alhamdulillah.
Okay, mashallah.
Yeah.
And if we may ask you, continuing on the same kind of vision, Sister Sohret, what are the favorable type of opportunities for Muslim women entrepreneurs, in your opinion?
What are the opportunities? Is that what you?
Yeah,
Sorry.
favorable type of opportunities for Muslim women entrepreneurs.
Okay, so I would say those, obviously, like Sister Ambreen was saying in the beginning, things that don't contradict, the Quran or the Sunnah in terms of what we've been taught as Muslims. These definitely things that we should be staying away from that contradict Islam. So anything that's favorable, that's gonna solve a problem in your community. So whether it's I'm thinking of an example here. I work mostly with sisters who are coaches or who have online services. So, in terms of what kind of service will solve a problem, you need to identify the gap and you need to understand what your strengths are, because there's no point going to work with people if you can't, handle stress from other people's lives and things like this. So knowing your strengths and knowing what a good business idea is obviously first and foremost, and knowing why you want to be in business. This definitely is important. A combination of those three things, I think, is fundamental. And when I teach sisters, I teach them that when they start a business, there has to have 3 Islamic foundations. The first thing that has to be pleasing to Allah. The second thing is that it has to be beneficial for them in this life and the akhirah. And the third thing is it has to be something that will benefit the community, whether it's their local community or whether it's the global ummah, wherever they might be in the world. And those 3 foundations, I encourage sisters to use them when they're making decisions in their business. Because obviously, first and foremost, if it's not pleasing to Allah, there would be no benefit in the other 2. There would be no benefit for them in this life or the akhirah. And it really, helps us to understand what we can and what we can stay away from, if that makes sense.
Yeah, And if we kind of come to you, Sister Ambreen, with the same question, but if you can give, for example, examples on a micro level, because mashallah, that is your strength. That is the strength of your program.
Yes, we have actually 100 of stories like this that the woman started from her own home setup, from a single room with a very less amount of money, with some basic kind of a skill set. They just we call it collectively bird in hand, and many of the women, mothers, young girls started so many ventures, so many small startup, micro entrepreneurship startups using their own resources, leveraging their own resources in hand. So, some of the women are doing the parlor, beauty parlor, and the home salon kind of thing. Some of doing are the home cooking based business. Some of them are doing the training workshops, and some of them are opening the Montessori schools in their premises. So there are a lot of examples in our country, in our specific, especially in our city.
Okay, mashallah. Excellent. Yeah. Sister Sumaiya, over to you.
Okay. Jazakallah khair. So my next question would be from Sister Aaila. Sometimes there is an inadequate support system due to gender norms and roles, as like our society is patriarchal. And so how should Muslim women go about conducting themselves? So what do you suggest for that?
Yeah. What I suggest in this case is always look for support for the network. It can be platform for women's entrepreneurs, women's in business. There is a gap definitely between the genders, but at the same time, I think in different countries, you can find a communities or group that are dedicated to support women in business, and they can give you some guideline training as well to start or to beginning or from scratch any idea to have your business. So definitely, I don't think there will be something like a standard, but we have to go into what is available for us in our communities.
Okay. So we need to find out what is available for us in our community.
Yes, definitely, because there is different kind of platform for women. We can go from the entrepreneurship women, or how to start your own business, and some of the countries, they have already a platform that they can support this gap.
Okay. Yeah. I guess like yeah, that's right. Jazakallah khair. I will ask the same question from Sister Sohret as well. Like, do you think like there are unfavorable business environments, especially for Muslim women? So do we have yeah?
I suppose there would be, but if you're creating your own, there are definitely challenges that you might need to face in terms of being able to run your business and deal with whether it's clients or whether it's providers, suppliers, because obviously there might be, like for example, I know a sister who has an online shop, and actually two sisters who have online shops, and they obviously need to source products from different places. So obviously there's things, it's not unfavorable, but obviously got to be aware of, they might, but one of these sisters wears niqab. She doesn't want to be, talking and mingling too much with men in terms of getting supplies and stuff like that. So there are definitely challenges that she has in that, but there's nothing that can't be, dealt with or overcome. You know what I mean? So and like and the other sister was saying, in terms of looking for support, because there are always ways to overcome any challenge, alhamdulillah. Like and in terms of one of the things that we do with the business club is that it is a support network for sisters, so that they come together and they're supporting one another, whether it's through advice about challenges or support on something that they haven't experienced yet, or just that motivation sometimes when you might be a bit flat if things aren't going well, or whatever it might be. So to always look for support and to always look for the solution for what you need to accomplish in your business and what the next step is, so that you can avoid unfavorable situations, inshallah.
Yeah. So, like, if you can elaborate a little, like, what kind of support that each, the sisters provide for each other in your business club?
So basically, the kind of support is obviously moral support. We did
Yeah.
originally start to meet in Sydney, and now we are kind of expanding to other parts of the world. So definitely
Right.
moral support, because sometimes, like, you've got personal things going on and you just want someone to listen to you. Or even if there's a challenge going on in your business and you need that kind of, assistant or
Mm.
someone to support you. But also in terms of sisters that will come to the business club and they'll go, I've got this particular problem in my business and I don't know the next step. I don't know what to do next. So there's that
Okay.
learned experience, because all of the sisters in the business club are at different stages of their business. So they've overcome different challenges wherever they might be. So is that kind of that advice giving, and also the other benefit of being in the business club for sisters is that they network with one another. So for example, if I'm a event manager, or if I own a primary school or a school, like a tuition center, and I need, I don't know, cakes or something for an event, then there's sisters in the business club that will kind of that will have that service. So they kind of network with one another in that way as well. To support one another, alhamdulillah.
Okay. Jazakallah khair. Yeah,
And
that would be
subhanAllah, just one more
wonderful.
thing.
Yeah.
There is like
Yeah,
this.
sure.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say,
Sorry?
there is like this every time we have a meeting, subhanAllah, there's like this barakah that comes from just being with other sisters and listening to them and sharing their stories and just sharing, your personal journey with them and them with you, and learning from one another. Alhamdulillah, it's a beautiful
Hmm.
blessing, alhamdulillah.
Learning from each other's experiences. That's what you mean to say, right?
Yes, yes,
Yeah, Jazakallah
subhanAllah.
khair. Yeah, over to you, brother.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Sister Ambreen, as Sister Sohret has been mentioning, kind of this intermingling of the sisters in the clubs. Now, specifically from a Pakistani perspective, what type of incubator ideas are there once you are, inshallah, your course is starting tomorrow. So, if you can please share the details of that with the audience as well. And then you just speak a little bit about the
Okay.
incubation ideas for the sisters, inshallah.
Okay, I would like to connect your question for the previous one. It's about the unfavorable business environment. So I would like to add that this can be mitigated and can be controlled up to some extent by taking your family members on board, and especially by taking your male family members on board. We can protect ourselves from so many unknowns. We can say that just like a mingling with some strangers, or with some suppliers, or with the other business persons. So we can take our brother, our son, our father, our husband on board, and we that's why we promote the family orientation. This is the third pillar of our model. So actually, in this way, we make sure, and we want that our women will be secure in certain environment, in certain conditions. So moving forward towards the incubation space, we do provide the incubation space, and basically incubation is the next level. First of all, you need to start something, you reach to the minimal viable product MVP, and then you need some space or the working desk for the further growth of your startup. So here in Karachi, we have an incubation. We have exclusive incubation as well for the females only, and by name of the Her Desk. And luckily, our mother, one of our alumni, MEC alumni, is doing this business of and providing the exclusive incubation space for the females only. So this is a great work by her, by the name of Her Desk. So this is and we do have the incubation facility at IYC-INT as well, with couple of other incubation facility in our city. But this is specifically I'm talking about Her Desk. Incubation desk is only for the females. So for the least intermingling with the strangers, with the male members. So all are running by the women.
That's excellent, mashallah. So pleasing to hear that. Sister, if you can elaborate a little bit about, because, sisters in whoever is listening to this show in UK, in Canada, in Australia, in US, in India, wherever, Saudi Arabia, what are the steps which are required to be taken by the sisters in order to come up with the facility or a format like Her Desk? What is required? Do you need sponsorship? What is required really, so that people can come up with this idea and start doing this in their own countries and cities, etc.
Yes, for that, if you want to start an incubation facility, you must need to have some exclusive premises. It can be your home, it can be some commercial space, and you can turn that space, that room, that lounge into incubation space by setting up some tables, some internet connections, some tea, water, coffee facility, and with some kind of a messenger facility. So you can just set up the incubation with the very least amount of resources, and you can charge a certain amount for as a rent from the incubatees. And this is the simplest form of the incubation. We can say that any woman can start from her own with a certain amount of space available, with the chairs, tables, and with some basic necessities.
Okay, mashallah. And basically, obviously, from a sponsorship perspective, then you need to have, for example, companies on board. You need to have sponsorships on board in order to kind of, whatever the most viable product has been selected. Obviously, for every kind of incubation period of 3 to 4 months, there would be probably just 2 or 3 products which are selected and being sponsored. So if you can elaborate on that, so that I just want the sisters to kind of understand this concept a little bit more.
Actually, it varies from incubation to incubation. The company, the institute, and the women who are doing in their personal capacities all have certain different rule and regulation from the incubatees. Some give space at the minimum rent, and some ask for a certain amount of share in the business, and things like that. So this can be very, I cannot actually state in just one statement that this is applied on certain format. So it vary from person to person. It vary from facility to facilities how they are making their documentation.
Sure. And just for the audience, just to let you know about exactly what Sister Ambreen is mentioning. Basically, there are in different countries, there are a lot of facilities. Again, as Muslim businesses, we really need to promote not only the incubation ideas for the brothers, but also for the sisters. The issue is that when we go to the non-Muslim countries, normally, even in Muslim countries, the loans which are given by the banks are all riba-based, interest-based. So it's really important that the sisters, and if the brothers are listening as well, to have this kind of understanding of having equity partnership in your businesses, because if we really want to grow our businesses, then it's not always the case that we are injecting all the capital. It's really important that we do bring in other people who have the money, who you kind of have good understanding and rapport, and you have the discussion, as Dr. Sohret explained, mashallah, in his discussion last week. So I would request all of you who have not heard last week's discussion to please do so, because that's really something which is really, really important. So Sister Sumaiya, over to you.
Okay, Jazakallah khair, brother. Yeah. So my next question goes to Sister Aaila. Connecting to that question, the discussion that we are having right now, what are the avenues available for Muslim entrepreneurs?
Yes, just going around a little bit about what the sister already spoke about. A business incubator gives you access to mentorship. That's very important. Investor and other support help to establish your business idea. But you have to decide exactly what are you looking for. The incubators that are very good opportunities for new entrepreneurs. But something that is very important is you have to ask few questions before starting your business. Exactly how your skills will be transferred into value services, and what can you offer to your client. So it's very important. Do a research, make a plan, then plan your finances and choose your business structure. And obviously it's come later when you have to register your business and get the license, permits, and the accounting system, and the location where will be the business.
Okay. So there are a couple of things involved over here. The location, the license, and
Yes, yes, definitely you have first to do the research. And then you have to make your business plan.
business plan. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
and it will include the finances, and this is where it's a good opportunity for you to approach any incubator that can give you the access to who can invest, who can sponsor you, who can give you the mentorship in order to put together your business idea.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. Jazakallah khair for that. Yeah. Sohret, Sister Sohret, would you like to elaborate on that? Like how to go about setting up the business?
Yes, Jazakallah khair. In terms of setting up, I mean, obviously, there's the physical things that you need to think about.
Yeah.
Your physical space, where you're going to actually work from. But also the things that you need to think about in terms of, like the sister was saying, in terms of your business plan, but also like who you're actually serving. So not only who is your niche, but who is the exact person that you're providing a service or product for, so that you know that when you're marketing your business, you're speaking to others about your business, you know what your message is. The marketing message is so important, because what I find is that where sisters are very unclear in terms of who their ideal client is, who their avatar is, and it's the message can be very mismatched. So being very clear and having those basic fundamentals in your business, for example, your purpose, your mission, and your goals. And obviously a few other things. Your financials are very important too, but being very clear in terms of who it is that you're providing a service for and what problem you're solving for them is so vital. Subhanallah, alhamdulillah.
Yeah. Yeah. Jazakallah khair. Yeah. Fantastic. Yeah. So, Sister Aaila, I would come back to you, and as you said, as Sister Sohret has elaborated. So, what should be the objective of creating something from the scratch? As we talked about the purpose should be very clear from the very beginning. So, what do you think? What should be the objective of creating something from the scratch?
Yeah, you need to have first to understand exactly what is going to be your business about. What are your skills? Because you have to have the skill in order to make it easy for you to start your business. And I think it's very important for that to write an executive summary of what your business will be or you would like to be. You have to describe your company and the business model, and you have to look your market, who's going to be your client. And as well, you have to understand what is your product and how you want to deliver that services. You have to outline all the operation and the management role that is going to be into your business. And then after that, you have to design the marketing and the sales strategies if you are looking to establish it. Even could be in a place like online, or can be in a space, physical space. And you have as well to make sure to have a detailed financial plan with your business, with cost, funding, and your revenue projections.
Okay. So you have said that like we have to have a very clear purpose.
Yes.
And secondly, we should be very clear who our clients are.
Yes, who is gonna be? Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And thirdly, you said like we should be very clear in marketing and the space.
Yes, you have to, if you're gonna be working online or you're gonna have a physical space. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Jazakallah khair for that. Yeah. Over to Sister Ambreen now. Creating the objective. What should be our objective very clearly? Should money be your objective when creating a business, when starting a business, or what should be the objective for our business?
Yes, money is necessary, like the blood in the body, like the fuel in the car.
Okay.
But that's not the sole purpose of doing the entrepreneurship for chasing the money, for having the money, for making the money. It's not it's not the sole purpose of entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship The sole purpose of entrepreneurship is very noble. It's about to serve humanity. It's a purpose very noble behind it. Behind the all complete concept of entrepreneurship is to serve humanity by every possible way. You can create, you can innovate, you can derive some solution that will serve the humanity eventually, and as a result, you can earn and you can make some money. Actually, this is the bigger perspective of the entrepreneurship. So this is a very selfish approach to make money. Making money is just one part of the objective, and the other is a very noble cause, and that is to serve the humanity and to fulfill the need of our community by any means.
And Sister Ambreen, is age a barrier? Is age a barrier, or any
No,
age?
age is not barrier. No. We have the kids entrepreneurship camp, and our young kids like 13, 14, they can start their own companies at very early age. And we do have a case studies of our grandmothers who started their business at the age of 60 even. So we have a large variation. There is no age limits for entrepreneurship.
Okay, mashallah. So again, the daughters and the sisters, our mothers and the grandmothers who are listening,
Yes.
Age is not a barrier. So go ahead, take your place in this dunya, inshallah. Don't
just
worry,
execute
go for it.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
yes.
As I don't want to use the kind of the Nike slang, just do it, because of the latest ad they have. But,
it's our principle is pilot and plane. We call it just do it, go it. So pilot and plane.
Yeah.
If you have an idea, just do it.
And
Don't
very
wait others
important
to
again,
execute.
Absolutely. Now, Sister Ambreen, very important thing is education and training qualifications for the sisters. Again, as Dr. Shahid was mentioning last week as well, that the traditional model of academics is kind of is dying. It's going to, it's more of a skill-based learning now rather than academic qualification.
Yes,
What
exactly.
is that? What is required in your experience for the sisters to start on this journey, inshallah?
It is a need of the time actually for everyone to get some skill-based education, that at the end of the day we are able to do something by our own hand, right? It can be anything. So we must acquire some technical education, some skill-based education. Our vocation institute are already doing this thing. So we really need our education system to revamp to the new lines that are needed. Like in the Finland, they work on the phenomenal based learning kind of things. So in our one of our alumni is doing Montessori homeschooling system, and she initiated that from the very early age. She introduced the entrepreneurship in her Montessori kids, like work with the wood, cutting the meat, and the hands-on activities like this, the carpenting activity, the wall art activity, and so many things. So skill-based, passion-based learning and education is really a need of the time, rather than going for the 4-year degree and at the end of the day you cannot able to do and perform anything at your own because you only have a bookish knowledge.
Correct.
Yeah.
So Sumaiya, last 3 questions over to you, and then we'll get the audience questions.
Yeah. I'll direct one of the questions to Sister Aaila. And Sister Aaila, developing teams and dealing with subordinates, what do you say about that? What is your experiences?
The experience I have is, first of all, we have to have a plan in the company. Then you have to delegate and you have to trust in your staff. You have to delegate specific areas according to their skills. Okay. And it will make it easy for you to work with a complete team. One of the most important things is I don't see anyone as part as a subordinate, but I see it as a family because it makes it work more sufficient in the company. You will be able to work with them. You're going to delegate easily any kind of work they have to do. And obviously this is based on the skills or the experience they have to help you to grow your business, and everybody has to grow at the same time.
Okay. Yeah. Jazakallah khair. Right. So I will direct the next question to Sister Suret. Yeah, Sister Suret, what do you think? We have pressures on our families when we start a business?
Are there pressures on your family when you start a business?
Yeah.
I suppose, like for us as Muslim women who are, who have kids and married, which is my experience and most of the experience from the sisters who I coach, is that like you can't really grow or even start a business without the support of your husband. And I say that in an empowered way because obviously your husband is your team. He's part of my team. For example, my husband, Allah Mubarak, he's part of my team. Even if it's just that he's the person who I sound ideas from or who encourages me, and who all I have to work around too, because obviously I might need him to look after the kids while I attend to something if it's not in my normal work hours.
Yeah.
So definitely the way that you can alleviate pressure is first of all having the support of your husband to be able to even start a business. That's the first thing. There are going to be times, obviously, I know that in my life, there are going to be times where, around certain events, if you're organizing events or launch of a product, that you might need more help in your family. And that will cause maybe a little bit more pressure because obviously your kids need to adjust to you being less around in that time. And you need to be focused on what it is that you're doing in your business. So, I mean, we talked about balance before. That's going to be a time where it's going to be balanced in your work rather than, your family. And you need to put in support for that, whether it's calling on other extended family or whether getting in hired help for whatever it is that you need to do. So there are pressures on your family. They can be managed, like the sister was saying before, with extra support and other strategies in place, alhamdulillah. So, alhamdulillah. But it starts with a supportive husband. All the sisters I've spoken to so far, subhanAllah, will talk about how their support of their husband is so paramount because we can't do anything without them, especially if we have little kids. If they're little, like they're little kids. For example, I've got a 2.5-year-old. I'm worried that she's going to come in right now and needs to be put back to sleep. So I mean, and I've got my husband, inshallah, helping as well. So Yani, it's a team effort. It can't be anything more than that, subhanallah.
Yeah, that's
Inshallah,
right. You can't do without your family's help. You won't be able to go ahead.
Yeah, I
Subhanallah.
definitely second that, Sister Sohret.
Yeah.
So we as husbands are the supporters. We are there to help and provide whatever support is necessary. Inshallah. And this should be again a shout out to all the brothers who are listening that we need to be supporting our sisters, whether it's entrepreneurship, we need to be supporting our daughters, whether it's anything else, or whether they want to even attain any education or Islamic education. We need to be supporters of our sisters, our mothers, our wives, etc. Inshallah.
Yeah,
Yes, this is we call the family orientation entrepreneurship. Yeah, this is the third pillar of our model.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic. Jazakallah khair. Yeah. Okay. So we'll have
So
one
there
more.
will be no confrontation in this model.
There'll be no confrontation in this model.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So, brother, would you like to have one more question, and then you can go online with the online questions coming up?
Sure.
Yeah.
Just basically, I think we have kind of touched base on most of the questions now. I think we can inshallah come to the audience questions now. So inshallah, this is the first question to Sister Ambreen now. We have answered this, but this is kind of the question which is coming. So I think Sister Laura would have had her answer. But if you would like to still add, Sister, bring anything to this question, then please do so.
Okay. Yes, woman can do everything and business on her own. It depends actually on so many things. How can you manage if you are capable enough, brave enough, and you have no certain barrier? You can do everything on your own, no issue at all. But in some in the society like we are living in Pakistan, from the Eastern perspective, We promote family orientation first, and then we say that yes, you can go for the business. You can start up your own venture with the help and support and the blessing of your own family members. So make the team from within the family, because we can trust on our family member rather than trusting on any XYZ and a stranger and outsiders. So that's why we promote family orientation. But on the other hand, you can do everything on your own. You can start any startup.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, there are single sisters which don't have the support.
Yes.
For example,
Yes.
so this is not to
Yes.
suggest that you are only dependent upon, for example, other family members, etc. Go ahead, seek maybe advice and help from the sisters
Yes.
club, which are there to
Yes,
help.
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Mentors are there, advisors are there, consultants are there, coaches are there, business coaches are there. So there are so many arenas.
In fact, the next question is exactly that to Sister Sohret, which is if you can share the details of the business club that you have.
Bismillah. So the business club basically is an online group. Basically, we are from sisters from all parts of the world, mostly from Australia, but obviously we welcome sisters from any part of the world, alhamdulillah. And basically, it's a network where you come together. It's not like a trading post group or a sell swap buy group. It's actually there to support sisters with whether it's business motivation, marketing strategies, tips for mindset, Instagram use, Facebook use, whatever it might be. So it's not just, I'm going to sell my products and I'm going to network with other people. It's about what can I give to others? What can I share that I know that other people can benefit from? And they can just send me a personal message, and I'm happy to add them to the group, inshallah. That's no problem, alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
So whether
So-
on
so-
Facebook or Instagram,
Yeah.
alhamdulillah.
Sister Suret, you can elaborate a little on the theme that could help the sister. Like I would say, the themes every week that you run.
Okay, yes. So basically, what we do is, are you talking about the daily things? Because obviously, Sumaiya is part
Yeah.
of the business club.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah. Okay, so basically,
Yeah.
every week, every day of the week, I run different themes. So basically, one is about motivation. It might be a video or a post that I do as a business mentor and business coach. And then I also have others where we do a shout out to other sisters. So if you've used another sister's service, I encourage sisters to, post their links, post their experience, so that we're boosting everyone else's business as well. So it's not just what am I going to get out of this experience? What can I do to serve other sisters in business as well? And then there are days of the week where I do encourage sisters to share their own businesses, whether it's their links or their products or their services or any specials or any programs that they've got coming up as well. Alhamdulillah. And also, I mean, as Muslim women, it's obviously very important that we also do care for ourselves, because obviously we are responsible for children, for families, and we are running a business as well. So I do encourage sisters to do self-care, and that's the theme for one of the days of the week too, alhamdulillah. So that we do achieve a balance, yani, in terms of our business, our family, and also ourselves and our relationship with Allah, inshallah.
And Sister Aaila, if you can also please let us know about your kind of the business club which you have over there, the organization which you run in Canada.
Yes, what we are doing here is we give all the resources for them to get any training or have any advice when they want to start a business. And there is a different platform where they can go into how to start from scratch, how to plan the business plan, as well how they can get training and how to develop the strategy for them to start running from home or from a specific place, like a physical space. On this platform, we give all the information that is needed, from the steps with the government, how to register the business, how to choose the name, what are the process, and then as well, how to start marketing themselves in social media.
Okay, Jazakallah khair. That's great. So people who are listening from North America, then you can actually have a look at the club which the organization, actually not a club, which Sister Aaila has put together in Canada, and join that inshallah as well. Sister Ambreen, this is the question for you. where do we find the right mentorship for female entrepreneurs?
Okay, it depends upon your country in which you are living. Like myself, I am a business coach as well, and so we have a groups of that provide this, these kind of services of the mentorship for the business. So I hope you can search on the Facebook page for the mentorship and for the business coaching. You will get very nice solution. And similar like this in our country, we have some mentors, business mentor, business coaches as well. We have some groups on Facebook. So in this way, we can find the right mentor, and you can take advice from them.
Okay. Okay. I think this is more, you're right, this is more country specific, but I think
Yes.
at a generic level, search in your community is the right kind of mentors. The mentor doesn't have to
Exactly.
be, for example, a professor or someone who is running a business. A mentor can be anyone who is able to motivate you, direct you,
Yes.
give you the right
Even we
framework
can
to
have a
follow.
multiple mentor as
Exactly.
well. We have a spiritual motivator, we have a business
Absolutely.
motivator, we have so many things. So it all depends upon you, what kind of
Yeah,
mentors you want
absolutely.
from within your circle, within your community, similar like this.
Absolutely. So, Sister Sohret, this is a question for you, please.
Bismillah. So the common mindset challenges that I see in sisters is basically, first and foremost, is a belief in their self, and a belief that they can actually run a business in addition to being a mum. That's the basic and the most common one, because often, we have women have low self-esteem, low self-confidence, have never done anything outside of their home like this before, haven't believed in themselves, haven't backed themselves, and also the other thing is, some women may have worked in the past and then they've had children and they've been occupied with their family and focused on their family and their children for like 10, 15 years, and now they're going, well, what? I would like to do something, but what is it? And can I actually do it? So that would be the first thing. The second thing is that we all have, most of the sisters that I see is that they have, money blocks, or they find it difficult to actually then sell their services. How am I going to speak to other people about my service? Are they going to be willing to pay this? And all this kind of talk. So definitely the first one would be about themselves. The second would be about stories that they have about money. But one of the other challenges that I see sisters have in terms of their mindset is, can I actually have a business? Is it possible for me to have a business? But why am I so special? Why would it work for me? Can I do this? But what about my family? Those are the other things that come up. So, questions about whether and it's mostly limiting beliefs too, because obviously we've already spoken about, and from the examples that the other sisters have given, that there are, that it is possible for us to have a business and have a family. And my daughter just joined us. Sorry for a
That's
brief
okay.
minute. I didn't know.
Yeah, that's what mothers are.
Yeah,
Alhamdulillah.
a
Yeah,
real life example.
yeah, real life example of family and business together. Yeah, alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah.
MashaAllah. Jazakumullah khair, sister. Sister Aaila, this is the question for you now. If you can see it on the screen, I'll read it as well. How can we overcome self-doubt?
First of all, you really need to believe in yourself. You need to make sure that what kind of business do you want. It doesn't matter the business, as long as you have self-confidence and you are looking forward to continue with that idea. So to overcome all this is make sure you know what you want, you have to plan, and you have as well to consider if you are, for example, a single parent, the challenge that you're going to have. But everything can be managed as well. It doesn't matter the age. You can start any business at any age. You can be an entrepreneur between 18 to 20 or over 45. So the most important is you have to make sure, and you have to believe in yourself, and you have a specific, or you know exactly what kind of business do you want to open, and that you have the skills to make your business successful.
Okay. And I would also like to add that surround yourself with positive individuals. You know, surround yourself with people who actually admire you, you know, who love what you do. And, you know, that's very important, because if we have negativity around us, then what actually happens is that, especially this is for the sisters, the daughters, you know, the people who are raising their families, that always be extra positive with your daughters. That's really, really important, inshallah, for everyone.
Yes. In addition, write some affirmative sentences and do repeat these sentences 10 to 25 times every day. Just, I can do this, I can do this. So you can overcome your doubt. This is the mentoring sessions we used to practice in our sessions.
Absolutely.
Affirmative sentences.
So, Sister Ambreen, in fact, this question now is coming to you. That what about female entrepreneurs in Pakistan? From whom can they take guidance?
Okay, so I think they can take guidance from myself, from my husband, and we all are here to support the female entrepreneurs. IBA-CET is here to support, and we have online classes as well. We have a live mentoring session. You can contact me. I can guide you for your business. And yes, our contact number are already here. You can contact me, my husband, IBA-CET. We all are here to support the female entrepreneur in Pakistan. And we are already conducting the various workshops across Pakistan in various cities.
MashaAllah. And again, those of you who don't know, you can look at the IBA Center of Entrepreneurship webpage in Pakistan and actually get to know Dr. Shahid Qureshi and Sister Ambreen as well from there. Now, the last question to you, Sister Sohret, before we kind of have a concluding remark from everyone. It's coming to you now. Do we need to invest or pay mentors when we start with the support group?
Okay, so do we need to invest or pay mentors when we start with the support group? So basically, if you're referring back to the business club, there's two levels. One is a free level and one is a paid membership level. So there is mentorship, but it's not at a it's not a hand-holding kind of mentorship, if that makes sense. For the way that I do things. The support group, I suppose the business club is a support network, so you do get a light kind of mentorship, but it's not very there's no one there holding your hand in terms of and supporting you day to day with your business. That's different levels of programs that I personally run. But when you're looking for a mentor, you know, one of the things that you need to look for is that the mentor has the results that you want in your business. So wherever your mentor might be, seek that kind of level of mentorship, inshallah. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, it surely does. Jazakumullah khair. And just to add one more thing, brothers and sisters, whoever is listening to it now or later, if you have to spend on your personal development, then that is the money well spent. So do not hesitate to spend on yourself. You know, you spend on your food, personal development is way more than that. So please do not always take, if you have to pay someone for mentorship, do not take it as something which is negative, you know, because maybe that is a business that mentor is running, you know. So please take it from that angle and do spend on your personal development, whatever it takes, inshallah. So Jazakallah khair, Sister Sohret. Any kind of concluding remarks from Sister Ambreen, Sister Aaila, Sister Sohret? It's the mic is yours. Yeah.
Sorry, can I just say one thing? We talked about this before in terms of mindset and the kind of challenges that sisters will have in their business. One of the things that I know that was beneficial for me in the beginning of starting my entrepreneurship journey was that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He tells us that He doesn't burden a person with more than they can bear. And sometimes in the beginning of any of our journeys, we need to remember and we need to find that inspiration from other people outside of ourselves before we can actually believe in ourselves. And Allah already tells us that He won't burden us. So He's already believing that we've got this and we can do this, whatever this might be, whatever challenge that might be for you. Alhamdulillah. It's something that helped me in the beginning. Alhamdulillah. Inshallah, it benefits other sisters as well. Alhamdulillah.
Jazakallah khair for that. Yeah.
Sister Ambreen.
Yes, I would like to conclude on the note that keep focus on your bird in hand with whatever skill set you have, whatever core competence you have. Keep on polishing your skills and look the opportunities around you. Identify the gaps in your society, pains in your society, want in your society, and match these gaps and want and pain with your skill set. You can come up with a very interesting idea, very innovative idea. We call it USP, unique selling proposition. Whenever you start any business, you must have certain USP in order to sell that particular things. And for the marketing purpose, we promote that the bird in hand, and the word of mouth is the best marketing strategy to start with whatever you have, with whatever you means you have. And for the third thing, leverage your family network and do part in the nation building activities as a broader perspective of the entrepreneurship. And in addition, last but not the least, do not go in the initial phase of your startup. Do not go for the microfinancing institute or the external funding or the kind of things, external investment, angel investors. Try to raise money from within your family, from your circle, with your relatives, and we do not want to go for the banking system in the initial phases. So these are my conclusions.
Jazakumullah khair, Sister Ambreen. Sister Aaila, any final words from your side?
Yes, we have to always keep in mind that when we have this, a mindset has to be positive. So it will help us to enable how we uncover and see problems as opportunities, and then turning these opportunities into a business. It's an understanding that everything around us, it will be the result of an idea. When you start your business and things are going well, we have as well to understand that it will change. But the critical thinking is the key to successful business. And we have to be willing to find the best solutions to overcome the challenges. So this is why it's important always to have this positive mindset to help your business to grow.
No. Jazakumullah khair, Sister Aaila. I think I'll just take the last question myself, which is any education I need to take to be a business mentor. Any books? Again, whoever sister or a brother whoever is asking the question, there are many books, brothers and sisters. Start with a very basic book. I would suggest anyone can also add Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Just start with this very basic book on entrepreneurship, just to change your mindset initially. And then, again, you go to Amazon, go to Audible of Amazon. If you don't like reading books, listen to books, but spend your time on productive, areas, positive mindset, as Sister Aaila has mentioned and Sister Ambreen has been mentioning, the kind of examples she's been giving. So Jazakumullah khair, everyone, to the panelists. It's an honor. It has been an honor for all of us to actually have you on board today. I think this session will help a number of sisters across the globe, inshallah, whoever is listening, whether it's related to mentorship, whether it's related to entrepreneurship, whether it's to do with understanding the true concept of Islamic entrepreneurship and how the family equation comes into it when we are talking about specifically female sisters or Muslim women entrepreneurship as well. So Jazakumullah khair once again. Next week, inshallah, we are coming up with another show on the same topic with a different panel and a different mindset, because these two shows kind of were the initial kind of breathers. Now we'll be giving you a lot more in-depth practical advice in the next two shows, inshallah, into specific industries as to how you can target certain particular industries as well. So Jazakumullah khair, everyone, to the panelists, Sister Sumaiya, Jazakallah khair, inshallah, and we are looking forward to see you again next week. Jazakumullah khair. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.
Assalamu alaikum.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.